say to you, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Carla Murphy Show, Uniquely Different, where our themes are family, community, Christianity, and business. Our motto is let's gel, let's grow, earn, and learn together. We are very excited for this jam-packed show that's ahead of us today. It's a stroll down memory lane, a blast from the past, and we are very excited to see each of our guests who are sharing the platform with us today. We have one from my days working in the cable company, Miss Siobhan. We have some of my daycare babies who are no longer babies from Gospel Pearls Daycare, Nia, Deja, Divine Sincere. We have Miss Martha Hope, youth leader, Henrietta, New York. And we have our producer and the youth supervisor, Miss Brenda, with us today. So we are going to jump right in. We're very excited for what's to come. And Miss Martha Hope from Henrietta, New York, Monroe County, Rochester, New York area. She is also the host of a radio show, and she is going to share with us today about the signs of dementia. Miss Martha, good evening and welcome again to the show.
Good evening, Carla Murphy. I'm so happy to be here, and good evening to everyone else. I was having a really special day yesterday, Carla. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for your prayers. I would like to talk a little bit about dementia this evening. It's the climate is mental health, and sometimes, as traditionally, Black folks have not paid attention to mental health. We have our ways of dealing with mental health. We have many taboos and we have myths about mental health. It's when Uncle Willie and Big Mama don't do what they're supposed to do, what we think they should be doing, and they're old because they've forgotten or they're putting their clothes on backwards, and we say, oh, don't worry about that. That they're old and we don't have to worry about that. And then we have our faith where we're rooted in our faith, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that God can take care of everything. And we do know that God can take care of everything. But guess what the book of Matthew says? When the Pharisees were saying, Jesus, why are you spending so much time with the sinners? And look what he said, it is not the healthy who need a doctor. So that means that he was well rooted as well in needing a doctor. We need a physician. He's given us that understanding, that skill to do what has to be done when he left this place. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. And we know that family members have passed away in the past, and we think that they died of a stroke or a heart attack or something. And then when we know anything, you look at the death certificate. I'm talking about something that happened in my family. My aunt had a massive stroke, and she ended up at St. Anne's Hospital, St. Anne's nursing home. But she died from complications because she could not chew, she could not swallow. She actually caught pneumonia during that time. So those complications are actually what killed her. And there are various diseases related to dementia, like depression and hypertension, type 2 diabetes, HIV, hepatitis C, and that kind of thing. So there are things that are connected to dementia itself. And I'm saying to our folks, we know that we have not had that access in the past to resources in that. I know that we have been low in funds because of systematic racism in that, but we won't go into that because that's a whole nother conversation, systematic racism. So we have been behind the 8 ball, but guess what? God did take care of us. I was with lunch with friends today, and they started talking about the old days. Some of that stuff I heard about, and some of it I didn't. I do know about cash spoil. I do know about 360s. And I said, Lord, deliver me from that. When I get grown, I'm not giving my kids no castor oil. And then they started to talk about cow hoof tea and that kind of thing. But who gave us that understanding of going into the fields and reaping those things to keep us healthy? The Lord God did that. So he's definitely with us all the time and taking care of us all the time. And I just wanted to share some early signs of dementia. And we know short-term memory is one of those things. And sometimes we are talking and we forget what we were going to say. Don't you, if you're an older person, pay attention to that, because there are things going on. What about walking into a room and you forgot while you walked in the room? And I'm talking to folks that are a little bit older than yourself, Carla. And I'm thinking about my own self. Sometimes I walk out of the kitchen and walk into the room, another room, and guess what? I don't even know why I'm in. I stand there for a few minutes and I turn around and I'll come out. And so I'm just saying that don't just get so used to being old, as we call it. Don't get so tied up and wrapped up in age, because everything is not an aging process. There are things that go on in our bodies and that affects our mind as well. And I was just thinking about sometimes you're talking and you forget what you're talking about, that or what you heard a minute ago or an hour ago, but then you can remember those things that happened 20 years ago and you can tell it detail for detail. So we have to start to watch that thing. What about finding it hard to carry out everyday duties, everyday activities? Those kind of things, pay attention to what's going on around us. And don't be afraid to go to the doctor and say, look, because there is no cure. There is no cure for dementia, no cure for Alzheimer's. So we have to be careful of those types of things that are happening to us on a daily basis. Because 65 at the age of 65, we start to decline according to research. According to research, and of course, it all depends on your life activity, what it is we're doing, what our diet is like, that whole thing. So, but we still have to be conscious of that. And sometimes those that are in the early stages, they just are confused or disoriented. I'm thinking of a situation at our church. One of our ushers who was the president of the usher board. So guess what? We started seeing little things of her forgetting which way to turn, who to let in, when to let them in, when to walk up to the front of the church, when the head usher is telling you to move forward or whatever. We started taking a look at that. And after a while, we realized that there was something going on with her. And just about 2 months ago, guess what? She died of dementia. And so I'm just saying that it's real. I know that we have our own beliefs about what we should be doing about it, or whether or not it's just like the COVID testing and the COVID vaccine. Some of us have decided, I ain't getting that. I'm not gonna be bothered with that. We don't know what's gonna happen to us. And historically, yes, we've been through some things. Everybody wants to talk about the Tuskegee incident. Yeah, that happened back then. I'm not saying I don't want to dismiss it, but what happens to us when we go into a doctor's office and we don't know about the medication? He'll say, oh, I said my throat has been bothering me. Okay, I got something for that. My finger is not working. Oh, I got something for that. So I just feel like everybody has their opinion about what we should be doing about COVID. We also have our opinions about whether we're going to go to the doctor or not. But I'm saying that scripture says, Jesus Christ said, if you don't need no physician, you don't need one. But if you need one, access one. Go to the doctor. So, and then, like I said, you sometimes in the early stages, you have conversations where you're trying to find the right words to say what has to be said, and you can't find them. And I've been there. I forget my keys. I just had to go over to the office and ask them to let me in. So I found me a little jar, And so I drop my keys in the jar. Every time I come in the house, I drop my keys in there because I was forgetting too often. And those are the things that we got to look at, Carla, is that if we're forgetting more than usual, then there's something going on. Yes, we can be stressful. Yes, we can have things on our mind, but it also could be Alzheimer's disease, or it could be dementia. We can be confused about anything. And what about those? I'm thinking about a friend of mine who has type 2 diabetes. We were supposed to do a presentation together. And what happened was she called her sister and asked me to take over. She was lost. So we get confused. And she said she had to sit there for a few minutes and find her boundaries, found out, feel where she was at. How do I go forward? Where is home? Where is the church that I'm supposed to speak at? So there's a lot of things going on when you have dementia, and we should not ignore those things, like leaving the stove on. I might go into another room, and I've done this a couple of times. I'm boiling eggs, and guess what? I burn up the eggs, and I don't even remember until I smell the eggs cooking. So all of those things can be a signal. And what about mood swings? You all right now, like I was, Carla, on yesterday. That accident kind of drove me into to run into another car. The whole front end of my sister's car is just it's just torn up. So I was in another place. I'm not saying that was a dementia or anything like that, but I am saying that sometimes things pressure you, and you can also forget at that time. And among people 65 and older, African Americans have had the highest percentage of Alzheimer's and dementia. And there is no cure. There is no cure. And some of the causes are diet, our lifestyle, resources, and of course our myths and our beliefs, and a stressful lifestyle. And what we've experienced in life, what we experience as Black people, we don't want to go into race, but what we experience on a daily basis, it is an issue when once we really start to think about it, because oppression works on your mind. It's nothing like Black folks walking into a store and already being prepared to be dismissed. Or walking into a meeting, preparing yourself to walk into a meeting, for those that know what I'm talking about. And I say to myself, I belong here. I'm going to tell them what I got to tell them, and so on and so forth. But that's pressure. That's pressure on you. And how do we reduce some of that? By healthy eating. Well, we always hear that all the time, but sugar has sometimes taken over my life. And since the pandemic, yes, sugar has taken over my life. I had 2 donuts yesterday, knowing that I should have it. Don't smoke, because it actually takes the oxygen from our brain. Don't drink alcohol. Expressing our mind with puzzles, and exercising our mind with puzzles, and learning new languages. When I wanted to lose weight, what I started to do, I couldn't concentrate on the diet that the doctor gave me. So I had to make up my own way so I would not have to take medication. So what I did was I started taking yoga at the senior center. I lost 55 pounds. I started taking yoga at the senior center. And then I walked every day, not a long ways, but I walked every day so I could have exercise in my lifestyle. And I live upstairs, so I do 16 steps a day, up and down. So exercise physically and emotionally. And the thing about it is, I have a friend that's like 95 years old, and she does puzzles like 3,000 pieces.
Wow.
3,000 pieces. She wanted to buy me a puzzle. I said, absolutely not. I cannot focus in that manner. So I just wanted to tell you that socializing, there is a real increase in isolation and loneliness among seniors, and mostly African Americans. And they tell me that from research that by 2050, we will have doubled in that, and that is people of color. So I would like people to get the word out that dementia is real, even among African Americans. So that is my presentation for this evening.
Thank you so much, Miss Martha. Thank you very much for sharing some of the signs of dementia. Certainly, that is helpful to many of us who have senior citizens in our lives and people who are aging. So we thank you so much for coming and sharing once again on the Carla Murphy Show. And we're looking forward to the next segment from you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Miss Martha Hope.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, world. Are you looking to develop your public speaking skills? Do you have a desire to move up in the business world? Listen up. Toastmasters, an international nonprofit organization that will help you with those skills. Our core value is integrity, respect, service, and excellence. We strive on helping others to be the best they can be. You can learn more about us by Googling Toastmasters International or going to www.toastmasters.org. You can go into search and find a club near you. You can just search, find a club near me. If you would like to talk to one of the Toastmasters, I am District 65 District Director-elect. I will take over office in July. If you wish to talk to me about Toastmasters, please call me at 585-683-9793, 585-683-9793, or you can email me at Billups, that's BILLUPS, at frontiernet.net. We would love to hear from you.
We've heard about Toastmasters. They are definitely an amazing partner. And if you're looking to improve your communication skills, Toastmasters is a wonderful organization to partner with, to join, to become a part of the Toastmasters family. Thank you, Ms. Brenda Phillips. Next up, the power of authenticity. We have none other than Ms. Siobhan Ward, who is coming to us. She is an educator. She is an influencer. She is a strong community leader and a partner in business. We are so happy to have Ms. Siobhan Ward to come and share with us and talk to us a bit about the power of authenticity. Ms. Siobhan Ward, thank you for coming and welcome to the Carla Murphy Show, for truly you are uniquely different.
I thank you for that warm welcome. Thank you for having me. The conversation about authenticity, um, it's a journey. And I can tell you a little bit about my journey and why authenticity is so important. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of my story about this. So, when you're busy, constantly, and I'm just going to use women for an example. We're taking care of the spouse, we're taking care of the kids. You might be a single parent, you might be working, you might be helping others, you might be a helper in the church, you might have your own business, you might have all these different things going on. For years, that happened with me. 4 years. My son is 28 now. 4 years. And something happened last summer that just made me just shut down. And I really had to spend some time with myself, which is really good. I needed that time. But here's what I found out. Was I being an imposter trying to please everyone and never taking consideration self-care? That's so important. I didn't do it. I didn't do it enough. And so while I'm trying to be all these things and do all these things for everyone else, my life was suffering and I was so sad. But let me tell you, God is so awesome. He will take that situation and make it into your message.
Yes.
And so today I come to share encouragement to take that time of self care for you. It is so important. God didn't put us here to be everywhere for everybody else. There's a purpose to every life, there's a purpose to your life. You need to take that time. Let me tell you why I need it. I was sick. I was stressed, and Miss Martha Hopes talked about that. I was sick. I was stressed. I was getting mean. I was getting sad, and I didn't know what was going on. But when I get like that, I take my downtime and I begin to just have my quiet time with God, for real quiet time, and pour out and get emptied out. And then, of course, I have my massages. Those are important to me now. And then I might take a nice long ride just for me. Believe me, the power of no is okay. It is okay to say no without explanation. Women, men, children, especially now, it is so important to be authentically you. God created you and designed you so wonderfully. And I believe sometimes we forget just how important we are as part of the body. All of us matter, especially self. You need to take care of self, and it's not a selfish thing. Take care of you so you can take care of all your other things that you need to do. It's okay to step back. Let me tell you, I'm a lot happier. The journey is still on, still learning to say no, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Young people, remember that. Older people, more mature, wonderful people, remember that. Take care of yourself. That means like Miss Hope said, eating right. I didn't take time to do that. I didn't even take time to take a walk and breathe some nights. How about sitting still? How about meditation? I have a friend that does spiritual meditation based on the Word of God. I love that thing. Sometimes I just might be quiet in the house and have a little nice soft music on. It could be gospel, it could be jazz. Long as I got my peace of mind. And then I was able to go out and be the beautiful me that God created me to be. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying, Miss Carla?
I definitely understand.
So necessary. So I just wanted to share that with people of being authentic, and I had to learn that. It was a hard lesson, but I had to learn it, and I'm glad I did. Glad I did. You have any questions about that, Miss Carol?
Well, I'm grateful. That was really powerful to hear and your time of sharing. It is so important to have time with God and to pour out. Like you said, the Lord told us to bring all of our burdens to Him and leave them there. And so it's been a wonderful blessing. And I have a theme. I say, I choose me. And I think that we all have to do that. We know that the Lord expects us to live life and to live life more abundantly. So, Miss Siobhan, what are some ways in which we can say no and be all right?
Oh, you don't have to be mean about it or nasty. Um, and I had to learn to say not right now. If I meant no, this is not a good time for me to take on that task. Um, I gratefully decline. I won't. I won't be able to do it this time. that it's okay. And believe me, for it takes time to learn that. And sometimes I still have that little struggle, but guess what? When I say no, that's one less thing on my plate. There's one less thing on my plate, and that's okay.
That's so true. So, how do you find that you schedule time to have self care?
Listen, right after work, I might go sit by the water,
Hmm.
just to enjoy the view. That's okay. You have to make it a priority to take care of you. So your family won't see all that whatever you're carrying. Let them see the joy in you. How about that?
I
That's
love
healing.
it.
That's healing for you and it's healing for others. Let them see that part of you.
I like that. That's beautiful because I often do that. I go and I sit by the water and I can read, I can handle business, make phone calls, eat dinner, sit and pray or meditate, relax, read my scriptures, and just enjoy. And so it's always an amazing time to be able to do what we need to do for ourselves. And so, Miss Siobhan, I thank you so much for coming and sharing and for being a part of my journey. It's been amazing walking these years together from cable to education to business, and we're here. And so, thank you so much for coming and sharing. And I'm looking forward to greater. So, thank you so much.
Wow.
We appreciate you. It was an outstanding presentation. Thank you. Next up, we have a special young lady by the name of Miss Nia Amari Spencer. She is my goddaughter. She was the first goddaughter that I had. Her parents, Reverend James Spencer and Miss Chantel Colston, dear friends and my beloved family. And so I am so thankful that we have Miss Nia who's here with us to talk to us about music. And she's going to share a little bit about the impact of music on our lives. Miss Nia is preparing to go to college. She is a graduate of Narden High School. I'm very thankful. She's going to be majoring in media communications, minoring in psychology, and I am very excited that she's not going far away from home. She's going to continue her studies. She'll be within arm's reach, and it's such a blessing to stay close and stay connected. She is a part of the Du Bois, Cox, Ford, and Colston families. We know them to be very influential in the Buffalo, New York, Western New York community. She is one of my former gospel pearls from Gospel Pearls Daycare, and I am so honored to have her here sharing this platform with me today. So good evening, Miss Nia Amari.
Hi,
How
I'm
are
honored
you?
too. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So Miss Nia, talk to us about music and the journey and the impact.
Music has always been a big part of my life because of the family that I am in, and we were just all musically based. Everything we did was in church, and we were always singing and praising God. So music has always had a big impact on my life, and especially gospel music. So, but it didn't really mean as much to me until like uh, 2 years ago. A family member of mine, my uncle, had passed away due to mental health issues that he was having, and I just didn't understand why that happened to him, and why he could leave his son like that. And I blamed God a lot. I didn't understand why. I didn't talk to anybody. Nobody even knew what was going on because I saved face, and I just didn't understand what was going on. And I didn't even talk to God for this whole period of time, which I should have. And I remember a time where it's the randomest thing. I was listening to music, and this song came on. I don't remember the song right now, but I literally bust down crying. It was a gospel song. And I realized that I needed to talk to God. And when I did, I had a long, drawn out conversation with him. And I literally bust out crying again because I realized the power of music just came over me, and the love that I had for him, it all came rushing in from all those the long period of time that I didn't talk to him. And I realized that I can't control everything, that and everything happens for a reason. So after that, the music just meant everything to me. It was so powerful. It connected to everything that I did, everything that literally, that everything that I eat, everything that I say, um, and how I treat people. And it all connected back to that one moment. So music has always been a defining factor for me. And music is what makes me whole as a person. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's great. So I know that you're a phenomenal singer, you're an outstanding musician, you're an excellent praise dancer, and music definitely has been a part of who you are. So talk to us a little bit about your journey becoming a singer and a musician and also praise dancing in the church.
Well, I started out really early, as everyone knows that Granny DuBois, she started me out in my own little concert when I was 2 years old. I was singing in Jordan Grove, and she had us all, me and my cousins, doing concerts since we were babies, literally. So then when I was in Jordan Grove singing all the time, but when I turned 8, my mom decided to put me into piano lessons, which I still play piano to this day. And when we went over to Evangelistic Temple, I started praise dancing. And really, a lot of people tell me that I dance just like my mom. The power and how much it affects me, how I look in my face, it really looks like I'm in the moment. And I don't even remember, because I am in the moment. I feel the connection to God. I feel like I am literally praising him, and I feel like that's how you are supposed to feel. And I've always felt safe in church. You know, other places I might not as feel as much safe there, but I am in church because I know everyone there, and I feel a better connection with God when I'm there too.
That's awesome, Nia. So, what is some advice that you can give to the viewers and the listening audience, and particularly young people, even your peers and younger than yourself? What are some advice that you can give them about how to connect with music so that it can help you?
Well, everybody has that's the good thing about music. It's different types. Everyone in this world loves music. So any different type, whether it's pop, whether it's R&B, rock and roll, or rap, everything is all connected to one main area of your life. It depends on how you feel and what connects you to you. So if you really want to experience another level of musical influence, I would suggest to just try out everything. Listen to different genres of music. If you listen to only one type, listen to another type. Listen to gospel music if you're only an R&B type of listener. Listen to everything, because everything could give you a different meaning in inspirational in different ways.
So, Miss Nia, what is your favorite gospel song to help to encourage you during difficult times?
Oh, that's so hard.
I know.
I love them all. Oh my
Well, you
gosh.
can name more than one.
Okay, well, right now, I'm trying to sing it to figure out which one it is. I think it's a Thai tribute song. Oh my gosh, I
We won't
cannot.
be upset if you sing it. It's okay if you want to sing it.
Okay, wait. I can't breathe. Do you know what this song is? I can't do nothing without you. I can't. Oh, I can't figure it out right now. I'm so mad. But Cycles by Jonathan McReynolds. I love that song. So yeah, that's anything Jonathan McReynolds I love for sure. So yeah, definitely him.
That's awesome. So, coming from a musical family, I know that Jordan Grove and Granny DuBois had you singing everything. Do you know any hymns that kind of minister to your spirit that are dear to you?
Ooh, hymns. Okay. Ooh. Now that I probably don't know any hymns right now.
It's okay.
I feel like if I was in the moment, I would definitely remember it, but off the top of my head, I don't.
That's okay. Well, we thank you so much for coming and sharing your amazing story. We're so happy to hear about how far you've come. We know that music is definitely important and it helps us through some trying times. And so hold fast to God's unchanging hand. Never be afraid to talk to God about anything. He's always there, and He is the answer to every situation. So, Nia Amari Spencer, thank you so much for all that you do, bringing cheer to your family, your community, and your friends. And we're so thankful for the impact that you've had and the example that you are to young people all over the world. And today, they're hearing about your greatness. So, thank you, Nia Amari Spencer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Miss Sincere Blackburn, good evening to you.
Good evening.
We're so grateful to have Miss Sincere Blackburn from Toledo, Ohio. She's also an ex-Gospel Pearl daycare baby, and she's grown up to be a wonderful young woman. She is a graduate of high school. She is studying pre-med. She is just an amazing sister and a shining light to all. And if you ever wanted to know how to be an excellent student, Sincere Blackburn is the perfect picture for you. So Sincere, welcome. Welcome to the Carla Murphy Show, Uniquely Different. And I am so grateful to have you here today. Miss Sincere Blackburn is going to talk to us more about healthy living, how exercising and eating healthy can lower the risk of getting certain diseases, and it can increase your mental health. So, Miss Sincere Blackburn, take us higher.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And so, like she said, today I'm going to be talking about how exercising and improving your diet can increase your overall health and your mental health as well. And so I know a lot of people and medical professionals speak on how, eating healthy and exercising can just make you a healthier person overall. But I wanted to also focus on and emphasize how well it does when preventing certain conditions or reducing the risk of getting certain things. So exercising has been shown to reduce the risk of getting some chronic conditions like heart disease, high blood pressure, and also some mental illnesses like depression and anxiety as well. And so this semester throughout school, I found like a pattern in my studies where the different conditions I was learning about in class, two of the main risk factors for those were poor diet and being sedentary, not being physically active. And so I think it's like very important for us to understand. Of course, there are other things, risk factors that go into getting things like high blood pressure or diabetes, but your diet and your physical activity are two very important factors in that. And I also think it's especially important for Black people to understand because we are at higher risk of getting things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, all those things, we're at a higher risk. And there are a lot of racial disparities in healthcare that once you get those can affect the level of care that you receive based on access and a whole other bunch of other things like that. And so I think it's really important just to, start doing these things early, changing your diet and your exercise habits because it can like really improve your health and decrease your chances of getting sick in the long run. And also because healthcare is so expensive, getting medications and doctor's appointments, that'll also, be more cost effective as well. And I wanted to talk about exercise in general. It's recommended that people exercise 30 minutes a day for at least 5 days out of the week. And I know like when people think of exercise and they think, oh, you have to go to the gym or you got to lift weights and use all this equipment when that's really not the case. And I encourage people to find something that they like doing. I know Miss Martha spoke on how she started doing yoga. And, exercise is just any form of physical activity. So that can be dancing, skating, riding a bike, even just walking. And so doing those things can like really improve your health and your mental health as well. And yeah, and also as far as eating healthy, people think that you have to go on a diet or like become a vegetarian or vegan. Personally, I do think I'm on like on my journey to becoming a vegetarian. I started like eating less meat and trying to do substitute like different vegetables when I don't have to. I know Divine's a vegetarian for, she's been a vegetarian for a couple years now, I think, but you don't necessarily have to do that. Just trying to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in your diet. Or personally, I like to eat snacks a lot. And so trying to like, instead of eating chips or some chocolate, going for like an apple or like a sweet fruit, something like that throughout the day, can also like really improve your health. So it's like you don't have to just go from one extreme to the next. Just doing like little steps along the way can like help you improve your overall quality of life or whatever. And yeah, and then as far as mental health goes, um, exercising for me, I like to run personally, but just like when I'm overwhelmed with school or something like that, or if you have just a lot on your mind, doing some form of exercise for me, running, it's a good way to just clear my mind and, you know, kind of start fresh a little bit. And, you know, there are studies that show that people who exercise on a regular basis, you know, have lower levels of anxiety and depression. And for people that do suffer with those, exercise can be used as a form of treatment or like decreasing that. So yeah. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Sincere. That was
Thank
excellent.
you.
Very, very good advice. And so I am just grateful. You really did a phenomenal job preparing and sharing. And I'm looking forward to you becoming an amazing doctor as well.
Thank
So
you.
Sincere, you're welcome. For the listening audience and the viewers, can you tell us some ways that people can do exercise in the house, even for people who aren't able to get out of
Yeah.
the house?
hmm And so I know that's been a big thing like throughout the pandemic. I personally had to, you know, get creative. There are a lot of YouTube videos, and not as like you can look up free videos on YouTube. There's a lot of free apps that you can use as well to do like in-home workouts. I like to dance. I'm not a very good dancer, but I like to dance. So like I started doing like a Disney Channel song workout. And so things like that, you can literally just put on some music and dance and, you know, do a little workout on YouTube for 30 minutes, you know, 20 minutes even if you don't have that much time. But there are a lot of ways that you can, you know, exercise in your home. You can, you know, buy a jump rope or like go on your back porch or something like that. Things like that. Yeah, and like look up little workouts on YouTube or the internet in general.
So, have you ever tried walking in place? Say, for instance, standing in front of television, or I've heard people say that they've walked around the dining room table around and around, and people have lost substantial amounts of weight. Have you ever tried any of those things?
Personally, I haven't, just because, like I said earlier, I like to run and I don't like to be like confined in a space. So when I do stuff like walking and running, I like go around my neighborhood. But that still is a good effective way. Just walking in general is a good form of exercise. Like I said, it's recommended 30 minutes a day. So as long as you're getting those steps in, or you can do a combination of a lot of things, you don't have to just do one thing, you know. So whatever work, you have to find out like whatever works for you personally. And also like I understand like a lot of people like they think exercise is like a chore. That's why I recommend like finding something that you like to do so you can actually enjoy while you're doing it.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing on the Carla Murphy Show. Certainly, you've inspired me. I don't know about you ladies, but I think I'm going to get out there and get some more steps in. So, thank you
Thanks for
so
having
much,
me.
Miss Sincere, for coming and sharing and for brightening our day and sharing with the world just how great you truly are. So, you are uniquely different, and we're expecting great things. And I'm looking forward to you becoming a phenomenal doctor.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You're welcome. Miss Divine Blackburn, planting seeds, giving people hope. We know Miss Divine Blackburn is very creative. She's another one of the gospel pearls. She's grown up to be a beautiful young lady. We know her to be a part of the Buffalo, New York area. She grew up by way of Buffalo and Toledo, Ohio. We're very excited that she is providing an outstanding service to tutor our young people. And she also is an excellent business owner. If you're looking to get jewelry, you're looking to get teas and essential oils, Miss Divine Blackburn, she can help you to get what you need. So, good evening. Welcome to the show. And we're looking forward to hearing from you about
Hi.
hope. Hi, Divine.
Hi everyone. How are you? I'm
Doing well,
Divine.
thank you. Take us higher.
I just want to talk to you today about hope. I think that it's important that we understand that sometimes things get hard for us, and that's in everyday life. Things get hard for everybody. And a lot of times you don't have somebody to remind you that it's actually okay, you know? And we get lost. We get lost. We get stuck in all types of cycles. That's just how life goes. We're trying to grow, all of us, continually. So just being a sister, being a friend, being hope, you know, looking out into our brothers and sisters who are in the world and see where they at right now and just offer some type of love to them. Even if it isn't, what you know that they need. Sometimes a seed is enough. A seed will grow to be a tree, you know. Just plant hope. We all need love. We are all growing. We're thriving as beings. And it's just important to understand that you can be hope to others, to somebody else, because you never know where people are, you know, and it's a beautiful thing to even be able to be that, you know, to understand where somebody could be in a year or now just by something that you said to them this morning, how you made them feel, just giving them a little encouragement. You don't know if somebody's about to give up or, just what things they're working on. Everything is perspective wise. So, like, just because something could be hard for you at work today, like you just too much paperwork, but it could be different for somebody else. They could just be as as overwhelmed, just as overwhelmed as you are. But but you don't know that. So just being nice to them and lending a helping hand when you're outside and when you see people, you never know what people are going through. That's it. You go through your own things on a daily basis and you want a brother or sister to be there for you. So I'm asking us to be that, just find that in yourself when you're outside and you see people struggling, you know, they don't want to be there, you know. It's hard for all of us sometimes, but just when you're able to wake up and understand, somebody needs encouragement right now. Somebody needs a helping hand to decide that you're going to be that helping hand, decide that you're actually going to plant seeds today. Just, being conscious that we all need help, especially as Black people, our community has been placed in like decline, and we are trying to grow as a being, as a people. We're trying to unite and we're trying to grow. So just to be there to remind your brother that it is okay. It does get dark some days. I know these things, but the sun is out. Come outside with me today, brother. Just to dance, offer hope, life, not so much work, so much structure, so much you have to do. Just things are okay. And that's pretty much it. Just, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the perfect word for it, which I really can't, but it's just really hope, just love everybody, just offer as much as comfort as you can, because you never know what somebody's going through, and that comfort could come back to you, and even understanding their situation can help you understand so many more things about your own life.
Mhm. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Divine Blackburn. That was great. And truly, we know that we never know someone's journey. We don't know what they're standing in need of, but we do know we're all standing in need of prayer. And so, thank you for sharing that, because certainly we all need hope. We all need love. We all need forgiveness. And I'm just so grateful for all that you do, Divine, to share that love. For certainly you do spread love and joy wherever you go, and it's beyond measure for the things that you do. And you're always brightening up someone's day and putting a smile on someone's face. And one thing that I've learned about Divine Blackburn, we never know what to expect next. And I love that about you, Divine. So thank you so much for sharing. There's only one thing. I'm feeling a little bit neglected in this moment. I see that beautiful picture behind you. I know that you're an artist as well. So I'll be looking forward to getting a picture that's designed especially for uniquely different. So we'll definitely be in touch, Divine. And why don't you talk to us a bit about the product that you sell and tell the viewers and listening audience how we can reach you to get more information.
So I do have crystals for sale. I sell all types of crystals. You can look them up as healing stones if you would like to know what they're called or what they're good for. I'll just name two of my favorites. One of my favorites is amethyst. It's a healing stone. It is just for so they hold energy per se. You can believe this or you cannot. It's not necessarily something that you have to take. But if you need healing, channeling those certain energies with amethyst could help you get there easier. It's just something that God left for us. You know, it's a rock, really. Also, rose quartz, I think, is a really good one. It's for your heart chakra. It just resonates with more love. So when you are feeling very lovely, or you want to feel more love, or you want to be able to resonate in that love feeling, being able to have your rose quartz or leave that energy with it and go back and find it when you need it. And as well for healing, with the amethyst, as I was saying. But I also have sage and palo santo. They are both things that you burn. Sage is a stick. I might have a piece close. I will grab it, but I will just explain first. So you burn it, and it's supposed to neutralize the energy, just makes things one again, just back to empty. Things get really crazy, especially in your home. Sometimes when a lot of people are coming in and out, energies, when you end of the day, begin the day, sometimes your day starts really rough, and you don't want that energy from the rough part of your day interfering with your lunchtime. So you just burn a little sage, you start back at zero and you decide where you're going to build your energy from there. And from there, I like to go to Palo Santo, which is something that promotes positive energy. It's also a plant. You burn it. It smells like lemons. I really like Palo Santo.
So,
Yeah.
how can the viewers contact you if they're looking for more information or if they're interested in getting your product?
You could go on Instagram.com and, well, not Instagram.com, but you can look up Your Spiritual Plug on Instagram, or you could look up Divine Blackburn on Facebook.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Divine. Continue to be phenomenal, and you're doing a magnificent job. And we're looking forward to hearing greater and greater from you. And I'm holding you to it. I'll be checking with you about my uniquely different picture. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Next up, Miss Deja Blackburn. She's the sister of these two young ladies we just heard, Sincere and Divine. She is a graduate of Spelman College. She is on her way to law school in the state of Pennsylvania. We're so excited about these phenomenal young ladies and all of the wonderful work that they're doing. Miss Deja Blackburn has been a loving sister. She's been a kind encourager. She's been an amazing supporter. She's an influencer, and we are certainly looking forward and waiting with great anticipation to hear from Ms. Deja Blackburn today about when the going gets tough, managing mental health while working hard. Ms. Deja, good evening, and take it away.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so happy to be here, even hearing what everyone else has had to say. I feel like what I'm about to say is just going to be a broad umbrella that's kind of, I feel like what everyone has said today kind of feeds in a little bit to what I'm going to talk about. And so since you already introduced me, there's no reason for me to reintroduce myself. So the title I chose for my discussion today is When the Going Gets Tough, Managing Mental Health While Working Hard. And so this topic was near and dear to me simply because that's where I am in life. I finished high school, I finished college, I'm on my way to law school, and even in the midst of not just my work life, my school life, but even my personal life with my relationships and with family and friends, the going does get tough. And it's been times where I've been really down on myself, where it's like, oh, it's always something. If it's not one thing, it's another. And so when Ms. Carla was so kind to ask me to be here and speak, I felt like this is what I should talk about because it's something that I've been going through in the most recent years. And so I do want to start out by saying, for anybody who feels stuck in life, or if you do feel like you know you're not sure which way to go, I'll say personally, in my own opinion, hard work and goal setting have paid off for me. Me setting goals and saying, I want to go here and learn about this. And no matter what obstacles came in front of me, no matter how difficult it was, having those goals and having that will to keep pushing, in due time, it has paid off for me. And so, what I would like to talk about today is perseverance. And I want to talk about 3 different ways that we can try to persevere a little harder in our own lives. And I'm not just talking to you because I'm saying this, but I'm also saying it to me because I need it as well. And so I looked up the definition of perseverance, and according to Merriam-Webster, it's the continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failures, or opposition. And so in life, no matter what we're doing, whether it's work, school, relationships, anything like that, there's times when we have to persevere. And so I found I wrote out 3 different things that we can kind of do to push ourselves in order to get past those obstacles. And so the first thing I would like to talk about really quickly is gratitude. And so for me personally, sometimes I get really down on myself and I start to feel very sorry for myself. And a lot of times it's simply because the ideas that I have for myself aren't in line with where God is trying to take me. And so a lot of times I have to check myself and remember that being thankful for where I am, um, that's when I'm able to actually seize the moment and make the best of the day so that we can have a better tomorrow. And so gratefulness is number 1. Number 2, balance. Mostly everybody today has touched on this in terms of mental health. Ms. Siobhan talked about being authentic, learning how to say no. Nia talked about music, the importance of whatever hobbies or whatever you do, whatever ministry you do, whatever you do to stay grounded, being in touch with that. Um, and then also remembering the faith. So for me, what kind of gets me through when I do need a balance, when I do need to stay grounded, I remember Philippians 4:6. Uh, Be careful for nothing, but in all things by prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And then it goes on even through verse 8 to talk about which things are good and lovely and are of good report. Those are the things that you should think on and dwell on. And sometimes that's what helps you to get through. And then number 3, the third point, the third key to perseverance in my personal experience is encouragement. Encourage yourself and encouragement of others. Divine talked about planting seeds of hope. 2 weeks ago, I was in a really rough space, and I made that known to be vocal. I was like, I'm tired. And I remember Divine just sent me a message. She did. And she told me, are you okay? And she was like, life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be enjoyed. And it's like just what she was talking about today. Her and one other person has said very similar things to me. And where last week I was feeling sorry for myself and I was all mad at God, and this week it's like I'm here to use that encouragement to encourage you all. And so last but not least, I'm just going to talk about sowing seeds. Like Divine said, sow those seeds of goodness because you will reap that. And I'm going to end out with Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. It says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. And so I encourage you all, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, to continue to push. There's a reason why we're all here. And what is meant for you, what God has for you on this earth, that journey, that message that he has given to you to give to others. Nobody else can take that away. So keep on pushing, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Deja. That was so beautiful and heartfelt. And certainly, you talked about one of my favorite scriptures in Philippians. And every day, I've shared this before, but every day, I begin my day, I end my day, and I pray throughout the day the Lord's Prayer. We know that Pastor Blackburn, your grandfather, my pastor, he always talks about the Lord's Prayer, and it's an inclusive prayer. And he says that anytime you feel uneasy, say the Lord's Prayer. It only takes about 20 seconds to say the Lord's Prayer, and you will feel better. Also, I love Philippians, the 4th chapter. I read that every day before my feet touch the ground. I read that scripture. I read the 23rd Psalm, and I read Philippians 4, and it tells me what I'm supposed to think about. And that helps me to stay rooted and grounded. And I do it every day without fail because it's so important to program our minds. And what we put into us is what's going to come out of us. So thank you so much for talking about sowing seeds. We sow good seeds, we reap a good harvest. And it's very important because God wants us to live life and to live it more abundantly. So, young ladies and old alike, we thank you so much for coming and sharing on the Carla Murphy Show. For truly, you've been here, you've educated people, you've enlightened people, and I feel empowered, and I'm sure you do too. So, we're grateful for all that you do. We want to encourage you to stay the course, keep pushing. Never give up. Pray until something happens, and only good things will come your way. This has been an amazing show, the Carla Murphy Show, Uniquely Different, where I am your host, Carla A. Murphy. We've come together to gel, to grow, earn, and learn. If you're looking to share about your greatness and tell your story, please call me at area code 716-553-3109 or email me Carla Murphy, uniquely different at gmail.com. You will be able to view us on Uniquely Different TV network on Roku. This has been an amazing time together. Ladies, we thank you. Stay safe until we meet again. We'll talk to you later.